I'm going to put that lid back on. It smells gorgeous. Hello, welcome to Hillbilly Hooch. Today we're making apple brandy. The ingredients are 15 litres of apple juice. This is concentrate. Got 3 kilos of sugar. We're going to be using some 1118 yeast. Nutrients, we've got multivitamin, just one of them. Tomato and some dab. This is for a 30 litre wash, so stick around, let me show you how it's done. So the first thing I like to do is hydrate my yeast. I've got some apple juice and hot water in here, but it's a little bit too warm for it. So I'm going to top it up with some more apple juice. We want it to be around 20 degrees when we add the yeast into it. I had to top it up with a bit of cold water as well to get the temperature down. I'm going to be putting in our Lalvin 1118 in here. This is a wine yeast, but I think this will be ideal for the Cheats apple brandy. Give it a good stir. What I like to do is I put cling film on top of it afterwards. That way no flies can get into it. I'm going to leave that on there for about half an hour while we get everything else prepared. Now this yeast, I paid £10 for 10 sachets of this off eBay. I tell a lie, it wasn't eBay, it was Amazon. 10 sachets for £10. So we've got 5 litres of water in here. We're going to boil this up just so we can melt the sugar a bit easier once it's in the bucket. Let's go ahead and do that now. While we're waiting for that water boil, we're going to put our sugar in the bucket. I've got 3 kilos in there. Now, my bucket is a 25 litre bucket, but the reason why I do a 30 litre wash is because my pot still is 10 litres and I like to double distill. So I need about 30 litres of wash, blow wines, whatever you want to call it, just to get enough product off it afterwards. Our water is not quite boiling. There's a few bubbles on the bottom, but let's get that in the bucket now. That's hot enough just to melt the sugar. I didn't show you me pouring this in because I didn't want to burn myself, but we are just going to mix the sugar in. Make sure all this is dissolved before we add any more liquids into it. I'll give that a good stir. We're going to top it up now to about 10 litres roughly with cold water. Give it a good stir again, make sure all the sugar's dissolved before we add the apple juice in. Once you've put your 15 litres of apple juice in, you want to give this a good stir. Make sure everything's mixed in together. And then, as you can see, we only have just over 25 litres in the bucket. We've got roughly 1.5 litres. I don't know if you can see that properly. 1.5 litres there. So that's, with that being a little bit over, that's roughly 27 litres nearly. So I know we need 3 more litres in here. We're going to take a temperature reading first. See what it is. And that is coming in at 25, 26 degrees. So I'm going to add cold water to it now. Top it up with about 3 litres just to see what the temperature is. Hopefully get it around 20 degrees before we pitch our yeast in after. So that's roughly 3 litres of cold water put in. Give it another little stir and then we'll check the temperature once more. Not bad, slightly over still, but I'll probably wait an hour before I pitch the yeast. As we wait for it to cool down, we might as well just take a gravity reading up to now. See what the sugar levels are in there. Try not to spill it like I do. What I've actually done is I've let it cool down. It's roughly 20 degrees, which will be the temperature of the wash, if you can see that properly. So our specific gravity reading is I've already checked, but it is 1064, which should give us a alcohol percentage of 9%, roughly, as long as it ferments out properly. Let's go over the nutrients now, what I'm going to be putting in. So what I've got is, I've got 1 crushed up vitamin tablet. I've got my nutrients, Fermado and DAP. And what I like to do is I like to split it and add them at different stages of the wash. From the start of the wash, I like to put 7 grams of Fermado in and 3 grams of DAP. After a couple of days, I'll add 7 grams of DAP and 3 grams of Fermado. I think the DAP is a quicker acting nutrient compared to the Fermado. So that's why I like the slower acting one in first. I don't think you need it straight away. Well, sorry, I don't think you need the DAP straight away, but I do like to add a little bit to it. Let's put them in now. That's the 7 grams of Fermado and 3 grams of DAP. Bear with me while I rinse this out in here. Then we're going to give it a good stir. Now, when we give this a good stir, we want to try and get as much oxygen into the wash as possible. I'll give the yeast a good start as well. So I probably do this for a good minute or two. So it's been about an hour. Our yeast is ready to go in. It is hydrated. Just going to give it a little stir in the jug before we put it in. Now again, we're going to give this a good stir. I like to stir it all in. Make sure I get a bit more oxygen in there for the yeast. Then we'll put it in the cupboard with the heater in. An aquarium heater. I have this to keep the wash at 20 degrees. I've set it for 20 degrees. It's a bit hard to see. My hands are clean, so I'm going to submerge this down, probably about halfway. Make sure the suction cups stick to the side. Now a little tip on this is, don't actually plug your heater in until it's submerged, because otherwise the glass will crack. I'm going to plug that in now. I'll see you in a couple of days when we add the extra nutrients to it. So it's been a couple of days now. I've actually got the rest of them nutrients. I've added a little bit of water to them and give them a quick stir. We'll have a quick look what the wash is like and we'll add them nutrients. Well, as you can see, that's been working away. Let me just put that back down a minute. Nutrients go in. You might not even need these at this point, but I'll put them in just in case. I'm going to put that lid back on. It smells gorgeous. And the temperature is, it's around 24 degrees. So that says, well, that tells me that the yeast is working its way through the sugars. We'll come back in a week, see if it's done. So it's been 10 days now. We're going to put the gravity reader in it, see what it's down to. Hopefully it'll be done. We can get it distilled today. It's not bad. Let me get rid of some of that foamy bubble. I'm happy with that. So I've put about 9 litres in the pot still. And what we're going to do now is we're just going to degas it. So as you can hear, it's boiling up. We've set everything up. So what we've got is, we've got the water coming in here, not turned on yet. And what it'll do is, it'll go out here and back into the sink. I'll connect the water up once it starts getting a bit hotter. And here, the alcohol will be getting condensed and coming out here and collecting it in here. I'll see you when it starts coming out. So I'm on the first distillation still. I'm going to see what it's coming off at. About 59%. Very nice. Unfortunately, we had a bit of a puke, but it doesn't matter. It's only the first distillation. It'll clean up on the second one. Right, we're on the second distillation now. Got the low wines in there. We've got about a litre of the first wash left over, so I'm going to put that in as well. Let's get some distilling done. So we've started collecting. We have some heads and hearts, and we started collecting the hearts here as well, and it's coming off at about 78%. So what I like to do is I like to collect in smaller amounts. I already smelled it, tasted it. We're in the hearts, and then I put it into my demijohn. So I've ended my run up with 1300 mils of hearts, and that's come off at 72.5%. I can't drink it if I go into the tails, so I stop as soon as I taste it. Happy with that.